Hey, Aaron here from Superior Singing Method, and I'm still in Vancouver. This will actually be the last video that I'm doing here in Vancouver. If you look just behind me, you'll see some people walking on the new cliff walk. It's just suspended to the rocks. Another little attraction here. Right now I'm still in the series about the psychology of being a singer, and this is all in conjunction with the book that I'm writing right now. And right now, this video I'm going to call What a Racket. So I want to talk a little bit about rackets. And this, this is just going to be a quick, like 5 or 6 minute video or whatever. So this is a much more, this is a much deeper issue. So in the chapter, it'll explain a lot more, but I want to at least touch it here to help you kind of get an idea of how to, another way to get unstuck in your life and move toward your goals, toward your vision, toward your dream. So first of all, racket simply is just, they're stories we make up about ourselves and the world around us that is in competition with our vision. So, and I'll come back to that in a second. So it's stories we make up about ourselves that's in competition with the things that we want to do, like I'm not good enough, or this will never work, or that kind of stuff is just, it's not necessarily true. It's a story that we make up about ourselves or about our circumstances that's in competition with getting the things that we want in life. So when you think of racket, you think of like in the 1920s, a racket would be like, you'd look like a regular restaurant up front, but in the back there's all this prostitution and gambling and alcohol and all that stuff. So that's what they call it, a racket. It looks perfectly like legitimate up front, but in the back there's all this illicit opportunity going, all this illicit operations going on. And that's kind of what happens, we do to ourselves in our own life. So when we say something like, for a singer, for instance, if you say, oh, it's nearly impossible to break into that industry, that's just a story. That's just a story that you believe that's affecting you a certain way. That's what we call it a racket. It seems like a legitimate complaint. Oh, but there's all this stuff going on in the background. There's a reason why we use these rackets and why we use these complaints in order to keep us stuck on purpose. Now, I know that sounds a little crazy, but let's just break it down really quick. With a racket, it always starts with some form of complaint. And a complaint is basically a declaration of powerlessness. Oh, well, this happened, or I can't do this, or the economy's like this, or that. It's basically setting yourself up in a powerless position. So it always starts with that complaint. And the second part of a racket is that it's there's some type of association, there's some type of behavior associated with that. So with that particular one, say it's impossible to break into that industry, there's like you feel maybe fatigue, or for me it would be like overwhelm or inaction. So there's some type of feeling that comes along with that complaint. And then the third part of it, there's always some payoffs that we're getting out of using these complaints. So a payoff for me if I were having that complaint is I wouldn't have to work hard toward my vision. I have an excuse not to pursue it. I don't have to go after something and experience any type of failure. I don't have to look like a failure. I don't have to look dumb. I don't have to be ashamed. Like there's all these things that we're getting out of using these complaints that we don't realize are what's going on. And the fourth part is like there's a cost to all this, and the costs are major. If I don't pursue my dreams, the costs are like I don't ever accomplish my dreams. I have less passion and less life in my own life. There's all kinds of costs. I don't ever get to experience the things that I really want to experience in life, all the joys and the ups and downs of really going after and pursuing my dream. So you see, it's more complex than just, hey, here's a complaint that I have, and that's it. There's much more going on in the background in our mind that we're saying. So when you have a complaint, what's good about knowing what rackets you have, because we all have a bunch of rackets, knowing the rackets you have helps you make a more authentic decision. So when I say, oh, it's impossible to break into that industry, I think to myself, if I know that's a racket, I can make a more authentic decision. I could choose to believe that, or I could choose to say, no, I'm going to go after it anyway. So my question is, what complaints do you have? What complaints can you get rid of and say, I'm not going to have this complaint anymore? There's an improv game called New Choice where you go up and you perform some scene and you like make a choice about a character, and the teacher keeps going, new choice, and then you like do something else, and they go, new choice, and you do something else. I would say right now, for whatever complaint you have right now, what new choice can you make? Say, I'm not going to choose this complaint anymore. I'm going to choose action and moving toward my vision rather than this complaint. I'm going to make a new choice. So that's a little tidbit on rackets. Hopefully that's helpful. If you click the link below, you can get my #1 favorite vocal exercise, or if you click right here, and that's where you can find Superior Singing Method and all the how-to sing type of vocal exercises and courses to help you reach that dream of singing. So that's it for me here in Vancouver. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. I'm Aaron, and from Superior Singing Method.